Every night. Same kind of different issues every single night. Anyway, we're on the screen we need to be on. Always the 30-second intro turns into a minute and a half, sometimes 3 minutes. But hey, that's what we gotta do. Anyway, we're gonna jump into all this stuff. We're starting to see what this bunker fuel has been setting up. And back when we seen this being deployed, we were talking about a big weather pattern change. Well, we're starting to see it. We're going to see it here very shortly, like here in the next day. But it's always multifaceted, so we have to get into all the other stuff. Now, last night we warned, we left a video link about a guy warning about some terrorist attacks over in London, 5 cities all over in Europe. And guess what? 39 people were found murdered in the back of the truck. Do you think that's a coincidence? No, I think they got a tip. You know, maybe it wasn't 39. Well, I guess it could be 39 targets. But there's still another 24 hours left in this warning. So heads up, man. That guy at least got the heads up out on this part of it. So shout out to him. I forgot his name. I don't even have it wrote down here. But the link's in last night's description. All right. So we'll jump into a couple headlines, and we'll jump into the wind weapons and the fire weapons and the weather warfare and all that stuff. So here we go. We keep getting these earthquake stuff coming out of the West Coast. Dangerous offshore quake zones severely under monitored seismologists say they have not been reporting earthquakes over here for a long time. They keep them hid. So now they're talking about finally adding some more. But what do they have to do to add the seismometers? They have to frack, pretty much. They have to core holes down into the ground. I mean, they're turning the whole West Coast, the whole Midwest, you know, up through Texas, all the way up to Yellowstone, into Swiss cheese from all the fracking and drilling that's going on. It's only a matter of time before they set something off. Thanks out there, Christy. Thanks out there, back at Schmill. So anyway, just heads up, man. Whenever they are talking about this stuff, you never know if it's going to be a natural event. You never know if it's going to be a frequency-induced event, a solar event. But the thing is, they know something is going to happen, whether they push it to make it happen or it just happens. So here's another article come out 5 days ago. The quiet fault in Southern California hasn't moved in 500 years, and now it's starting to slip. The fault has the potential to generate a massive quake. A series of major earthquakes shook Southern California in July, placed a strain on a nearby fault that has been quiet for about 500 years, according to a new study. So they're thinking this thing could trigger a 7.8. You know, you have the, right where the Rid Quest stuff went off. There's a super volcano right there. Magma on the move. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out here in the West Coast. And then you have...
In 2012, Costa Rica was pummeled by a 7.6 magnitude earthquake.
Oh, man, I hate that. Hopefully it didn't blast your eardrums as bad as it just blasted mine. Woo. Speaking of that, we got that solar wind, not really solar wind. What is it? I will get into that a little bit, but if you're feeling a little bit off here the last couple days, mega headaches, not only could it be from the aerosols and the electromagnetic microwaves, that it could be from the sun, the solar stream coming in, and it's really going to get bad tonight going into tomorrow. So if you feel real off, that's probably what it is. Now, we've also had a polio outbreak in the Philippines. This come out a couple days ago. This actually just come out today, the 24th. Actually, they're on the 24th there. We're still on the 23rd. So on the 19th, the Philippines declared an outbreak of polio. 2 cases have been reported to date, both caused by vaccine-derived polio virus type 2. Environmental samples taken from the sewage in Manila on 13th August in a waterway on the 22nd have also tested positive for the V2. So there you go, man. You know, I'm taking that as, you know, whatever's in the water from people flushing this stuff down the toilet, like the vaccines and stuff, is coming out in the water. And then you have this, the patient with measles who visited Disneyland, LA Starbucks may have exposed others. You know, remember when the measles were outbreaking all over the damn place? That was from the vaccines. A measles patient visited Disneyland last week while contagious and could have exposed others to the disease. Come get your flu shot. Be a carrier. Basically, that's what they're saying. Anyway, I'm not going to read all that. We got like too much to jump into. Well, while that's coming out, that was in California. Going in New York, you know, they're both the same. HPV vaccine for children to enter the public schools, daycare, and could soon be mandatory. When are people going to stand up to the right, you know, for what goes in your own body, your children's body? You know, we got all these articles coming out where they're taking people's kids away because they don't want the vaccinations. It's time to rise up, for sure. So out here in Kosovo, these guys are having to wear these, you know, biological suits to count the ballots in their election. So after a dozen vote counting officials became sick after the October 6th snap election, they're having to dress up in like biosuits. It's getting that bad everywhere. Yeah, we're definitely not free. Haven't been free for a while. Check this out. Satellite captures rarely seen atmospheric gravity wave phenomenon off Australia's north. These things aren't rare. We see them all the time. We catch them almost nightly. I mean, we could go look. This is, you know, this is like a blast wave. Remember, we just had one yesterday, I think it was, in California. Let's just go look. Where was it? That was on yesterday. So if these things are so rare, why are we having them everywhere? Let's get that cleared up a little bit. So strange, man. I get this stuff preloaded, and then it's all of a sudden it's not loaded. So I know there's a better. Okay, so here's a little better layer of these same kind of gravity waves, right where the aerosols and the bunker fuel were being deployed. And don't forget, we can go over here to just a couple days back. Over here where the other giant weather modification company is. Over here in the UAE. And this was, I think this was back about the 16th. So just a couple days back. This one definitely is a manufactured weather machine. Look at that. You know, it stayed here for hours upon hours upon hours. And then you also had tons of cloud seeding to the north. No such thing as gravity wave clouds. And we had some in Africa. In fact, we had several. Over here, we had some on October 9th. All this month. This is all this month. Try to get the right layer here. What day am I on? Oh wow, somehow I got all the way to the, let me get on the right day. So we had some gravity wave clouds. These are microwave clouds. These are from electromagnetic frequencies. So it didn't only happen on the 9th. It happened on the 7th. And this was a really freaky one. The same signature come out a week later exactly like this signature. And we had just a blast wave of dust here. And then if I remember right, it was, I think, back on the 2nd we had the blast wave with the exact same frequencies. Look, the exact same signatures in an explosion of dust. This is not a dust storm per se. This is a blast wave of dust in a circular motion. We have some freaky clouds shooting down towards it. We had a fake earthquake out here, a 9.0 earthquake out here. 1 month earlier, we had a fake 9.0 earthquake down to the south. And now we got one down here in Australia. Let me get back up to today. Actually, it looks like it might show up better yesterday. Same signature. You got the dust blast wave with the microwave frequencies. It's showing more of a blast. You know, they can call this gravity waves all they want. They're making it up. It's just not true. You know, when all this weird stuff happens, they have to come up with new terms. You know, this is ionospheric heating. You know, for sure. You know, it's ionizing the sky. You know, whenever you see the aerosols along with it, the increased ionization that supports the growth of the aerosols into the cloud condensation. And so then you got the mass flux of small ions that can constitute important addition to the growth caused by the condensation of neuromolecules. It's just a way to enhance the weather that they're working on. You know, if you're a farmer, you can buy a mobile cloud ionizer for your farm. It's like it's an antenna. Just Google search it. You could go buy one. So another thing that's going on down here, guess what? David Miles is in the news. The Miles Research Company. They're calling him a rain salesman. This coming out of the Australian news says his business is attracting investors, but experts claim his claims don't stack up. They're trying to disprove his technology, even though we've seen it proved over and over. And the U.S. government actually stole his technology. And, you know, they got some people in here trying to discredit it, calling it a hoax. But then you got other people down here, other farmers that say that it worked. So at least they got both sides of the story. But, yeah, he's in the, we'll check his Twitter tomorrow, see if he's responded to that yet. Now, you kind of wonder, you know, if Australia's in a drought, but yet Tasmanian cattle farmers fear catastrophic floods as farms are inundated by too much water. Well, what happened last year? David Miles there was some mega fires going on in Tasmania. He used the technology to put the fires out, but it also flooded it out, so it looks like they're at it again. This was just updated 3 hours ago. And there's a lot of warnings going on down here in Australia. They're talking about don't forget water. City residents are urged to get emergency kits ready. This came out 3 days ago. What are they preparing for? You know, they're saying, can you cope for 3 days? Put water at the top of the list. They're planning something over here in Australia. Hey, thanks out there, lady. Court. So just more heads up news from the New World Order, trying to push their agendas on us. Then we got this climate change. You know, let's just take that word there. Climate change, climate crisis, you know, whatever they want, and put in climate control. Climate control may see 1 in 4 U.S. steel bridges collapse by 2040. Well, how can that be? They take all our tax money out of our paychecks to pay for this freaking crap. This stuff should be up to date. You're a liar. It's just ridiculous. What do we pay taxes for? We pay taxes for roads and bridges. But yet they're putting the blame back on us, saying we're causing the global warming and the climate change, even though it's the PG&E, it's all the power companies, it's the U.S. Department of Agriculture, it's the UN, it's the governments. They're doing the weather mods, but then they're making us pay for it. They're burning us out of our properties and our homes, killing people, and then make you pay for it. It's time to stand up. Temperatures set to soar in Australia's southeast. So on one side of the continent, you've got scorching temperatures, and on the other side, you got floods. Well, Tasmania's down south. Now, my wife's seen this on the local news. It's had to be, I can't remember what we were doing. We were in between doing something with the chickens. And this popped up on the mainstream news. Tampons are now coming to men's rooms at Brown University. I actually think the mainstream channel was actually talking about somewhere else. Man-pons. This is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. You know, they're pushing and destroying the kids' minds by confusing them about their identities so that they don't breed. I mean, they're just totally freaking out everything. It's part of the eugenics program, the population control, the Georgia Guidestones, and all that stuff. So India just had its latest monsoon withdrawal on record, so what will it mean for Australia? So another poor wet season isn't necessarily set in stone because it comes to the atmosphere. Nothing is quite that clear. You know, here they go with their scribbly little BS about the El Nino. We didn't have no El Nino. We showed that, proved it. And look, there's all the aerosols they were deploying a while back. We caught all that. See, that they're just using fake stuff to try to you know, push off their climate agenda. Drought climate drivers. Well, how about all the aerosols that were deployed right over the central of the company? How about all the bunker fuel that was deployed in the south? How about the electric rainmaking that was induced over Tasmania? They're all freaking liars. All right, let me get out of that. All right, so before the tornadoes, you know, we're getting these big sprites. We're seeing this more and more often. We know that all the aerosols that are being deployed from the land-based, the ocean-based, and the airliners are putting more particulates up into the sky, more metal, And then we know that there's basically a plasma antenna above the Earth, the ionosphere. They are hijacked the ionosphere, and now we're starting to get more of these big sprites. Now these come over Oklahoma, so Oklahoma is a good place to see the sprites, exotic forms of lightning that leap up from the thunderstorms instead of down on October 21st before all them tornadoes. These were some of the largest spanning multi-events they've personally ever seen. So 6 sprites sequentially fired along the line of the storm for must have been 100 miles. This is weather tampering caught on film. This is ionospheric connection. It's what's causing these. You know, kind of like static electricity. But see, we're inundated with all these microwaves and frequencies and radiation, and now it's all starting to connect. That's why you see this cloud inversion, the fog on the ground, the lightning's hitting the ground as soon as it sparks up, because it's all connecting. They've got completely out of control. And then when you look at the stratospheric radiation monitors over California, they sent up their little Gonda balloon here. It's up 23%. So they are microwaving over California, and here's the proof. Look at it. It jumped all the way up. We know that the bunker fuels are out there. We know that the chemtrails are out there. And we know they just turned on the wind machine. They're setting it up for the fires. There's some of the proof. So let's take a look. I got a couple more articles there. California utility shuts off power due to wildfire threat. It's 2 hours ago. Forced power outages in California could impact hundreds of thousands amid high fire threat. Strong winds are creating high fire danger in Southern California. Now utility companies are considering preventative measures that could leave some heavily populated areas in the dark, except for the people with the big mansions. They're not going to turn the Hollywood people's houses off. Only the normal people, only the people that are struggling to survive. You know, this company here, PG&E, they have more power than the President of the United States. I mean, look what they do. They not only supply the power, they supply the gas. They do weather modification. We showed that a couple nights ago, how they're involved with the weather modification. They also are involved with the space-based laser weapons. They told the regulators, you know, pretty much what they were going to do, whether they liked it or not. They are taking people's land. This company seems like they're running California. So if you are in California, you may want to round up all your neighbors and do something about this. You also got an email today of one of the fires that started out here. They said it started out in a 5x5 square with nothing around. Just a 5x5 square of grass just ignited. Which is going to bring me to something crazy on the worldview map. So I want to take a quick look. Oh yeah, we opened up with this, the bunker fuel operations out here. And you can see the microwave frequencies, all that, the gravity, so-called gravity wave clouds are right there. But these are the microwaves. Look, it creates like a pulse wave. It's like a pulse weapon. Just like that ionospheric heating. This is how they pulse all the moisture off the coast. And then we see the signatures in the clouds. You have the aerosols to help the process out. And I wanted to zoom in to see. Well, we'll probably have to, yeah, we'll probably be able to see the fires on here. Let's go see where the fires are. I also had this one running. You know, if you go back and listen to all the presidents in the past, like a long time ago, every few presidents warned that a time like these would come. You know, that's why they're trying to take the guns. Hey, thanks out there, Badger Bill. Yeah, they want to take the guns so people don't stand up and fight back. That's the thing. You know, the whole point of the Second Amendment was to be able to fight back against a tyrannical government, and that's where we're at. People need to heed the warnings of a lot of the previous presidents. I mean, this is what they're setting up for. They're setting up for civil war, urban warfare, and it's all going to be to take everybody's rights away. And then you won't be able to defend yourself. You'll be like all the other countries. They're going to shut down the great American experiment. All these sock puppets on TV, it's just a soap opera. It's not even real. Let me go ahead and get this out. Whoa, what's that red? What is that red thing over there? That is strange. What is that? There's a red. Let's just see if that shows up. Let me put it on the whole. How do I get the whole? What is that? Let me see if I can get the whole. Look at that red area over there. That's crazy. Let's see if it shows up. I've never seen that before. It's right there. Let's let this load. What the hell is that? Is that the target zone? Where is that? Over Guam? Over the... That's the Atoll Islands area. It's still there. You can kind of see it. That is straight out crazy. Now, how come I'm not on the west? Let's get over to the west side and see if it still shows up. It's still there. Oh, we're not on the west. How come we can't get to the west? I'm clicking the west. Clicking the full disk. And there it still is. So let's hit play. It's got to let it load. Yeah, so there's the Atoll Islands. But I mean, if we were over there and it's still showing, it's just like there's some kind of freaky reflection or something going on out there. That is so weird. Let me check something here. Is it coming out on this one? This is the Ghost 17. Thing is, we got to have it on the right timestamp and stuff. This is the RAM slider coloradostate.edu. And the other one is, this one is just the weather.cod.edu SATRAD. All the links for these are in the description. Like all these links for all the tools I use are down in the description somewhere. So yeah, that's just weird, man. I don't know what the hell that is. All right, so let's go back over to the east. We'll get that on there. Close that out. Put this on 200. Let's go ahead and see if there's any watches and warnings while we're here. Hey, man, I don't know what it is. It was past Guam, though. Yeah, if I would have got over to the west and it was still centered over Guam, yeah, or the Atoll Islands, but it was still way off to the far west, so it's just something weird, man. I don't know what the hell. It's something wrong with the camera. Well, it had to be both camera. I don't know what the hell it is, but it wasn't over Guam, so don't worry there. But it's definitely an anomaly. So we still have the flooding going on, the Mississippi River, the Missouri River, all the way from the border. We've been flooded all year. You got some winter storm warnings. We got some really cold air coming in. It's still not the Arctic plunge, but it's some cold air, something we're not used to. And of course they have the wind weapon going on. Let me take that off. No tornadic or nothing too serious. So we go ahead and take that off. Let's see what it looks like with the temperatures. What, I clicked the wrong thing. Yeah, it's just the lines. We don't want that. Let's go ahead and check out the radars while we're here. Yeah, it's pretty nuts that, you know, we got all this technology and they have to turn the power off because it's a little bit windy. How come they didn't bury the power lines? Riddle us that. Why don't you just bury the power lines? You know, back when all the ice storms hit here in the Midwest, they made us, what the hell was that down there in Louisiana? Or that might have been Alabama. So back when we had the ice storms, you know, it knocked a bunch of people's power between the house and the pole, and you're responsible for that. So what everybody do? We buried the power lines. Wow, we got a freaky situation there in Louisiana. Wow, why am I so low? How come it's not showing me the whole? Yeah, I'm on 100%. Let's just see if it comes up on here. We have to do the regional. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You guys should not have your power off because it's a little windy. Wow. Let me see if we can get that exact radar. I don't know if we can. I think it's more up this way. We'll try that one. So what did we have the last time we had a flash? We had a tornado outbreak. We had a monster land cyclone over the north. Wow, that's cranked up. They have that cranked up. Man, I can't get to that. I'll have to go to the dual pole. Well, if it'll let me get there. I probably need to stop that. Yeah, that's still going. Man, it's still not going to, well, let's see if it's, I can't remember if it's this one or the next one over to the east. Dang, they're kind of buffering us a little bit here. Yeah, why is it starting to buffer a little bit? Now, I haven't had any problem with the new internet at all till right now. So let's just see here. We'll give it a minute. Hopefully it'll pop back on. Hopefully I didn't go over the bandwidth or something like that. Make sure I don't got anything else running. Whoa, that's got some outflow. Hold on, let's get over a little more. Hopefully it'll come back with us here. All right, stream's gonna start coming back. It looks like, yeah, it looks like they just probably the alphabet gang's messing with us again. I know they tried to take down my broadcaster. Ooh, that was a fast flash. Back that up a little bit. Probably got to let it load all the way up. Microwaving it. The radar is creating inflow. Trying to find that blast. Look at it just growing and growing and growing. Wow, it was way down. Whoa, look at this crazy signatures down there at the bottom. You got all kinds of things being sucked into the radar. Where the hell is that? I gotta let it loop through again so I can, there it is, right there. So it's getting quite a bit of signature going across. Man, why can't I find this damn thing? Look at things like a heartbeat. And I'm clicking as fast as I can. What in the heck? Okay, I got it running really slow. Hopefully I can stop it when it happens. So now we need to know if anybody lives in this area. Can you feel something weird? Do you have some mass migraines or anything like that? That thing is spanning out. Super cranked up. Why is this beam not rotating? Ah. What? Are you kidding me? It just stopped the data. Let's see if they took it out. Oh, it was right there. Oh, that's the speed. How come I can't? Oh, I need to be looking down there. Okay. Then I'll know where it happened. Right there. So right there about the Oh man, that ain't what I want to do. I'm having a hard time here. What? Make sure I didn't take it out. I'm trying to isolate this thing. Okay, so I kind of know where it is. I'm going to have to shrink it down to stop it. Right before it gets there. Alright, now maybe we can see what happened. There it is. Wow, look at that signature. So it only went off for 1226, 1207, 1153. Man, that almost went off for over 30 minutes. So that thing was blasting out for like 30 minutes. Ooh, this is an upgraded radar. This is the omnidirectional phased array antenna. This is a mini harp array. It's had the $1 million upgrade. It's blasting out, you know, super high levels of frequencies, radio frequencies, microwave frequencies. I mean, who knows? It's some kind of frequency disturbance. There's no weather around there to make that happen. This is all there in-house. You know, maybe they're dialing something in. Whoa, did you see that wave shoot out? That was pretty crazy. Let me zoom in on that. Get out of there. Whoa, you can see the frequencies. And when I zoom in, you're definitely going to see these. It's the gravity waves. But it's really the microwaves right there. Look at that. You can see the gravity waves. But they're not gravity waves, they're microwaves. So if there would have been clouds over here, it would have made gravity wave clouds because of the microwave frequencies being shot out of this thing. We get unzoomed. I just want to look at some of these different layers. I know I'm getting way sidetracked, but I mean, that's, you know, oh, look at these are the purple we call the microwaves because it's not even on the chart. So it's something other than the mean velocity that they're trying to measure. Yep, you still see that signature. I'm just going to go down through some of these. And they keep reloading it on us. Yeah, it's the yin and yang sign. So like if we were watching a tornado, this layer here would show us the debris ball. I just want to see if it... Oh, wow, it only gives you a little time frame. What a ripoff. Same thing, it's not giving us the full loop. And you can't really hardly even see that. Always like looking at this thing here. Is that not it? Whoa. Yeah, you don't get the full, what the, it won't let me click it. Whoa, okay, that's weird. Alright, let's get out of that. Let's go ahead and go check the tropical tidbits. Let's go look at some of the temperatures. I mean, we could use the earth null, but this will let us bring it out a little bit better. Oh, now they're starting to talk about the storm in the Gulf of Mexico that we've been talking about for days. Let's go ahead and take a look at the temperatures. See what kind of polar air we have coming in. So let me just go on up. Yeah, I'm not seeing no super Arctic plunge or nothing. I mean, we're getting some cold temperatures. You know, 20s, 30s. So yeah, we're definitely going to take a dip in temperatures. So here is on the 31st. And you're looking at, you know, some 20s. Rebounds up to the 40s. So they definitely change the jet stream. We need to go look at that. So they're definitely ripping apart the polar vortex winds in the Antarctica. Look at it, it's turning into 3 separate winds. And look, they got it cranked up. It's our polar vortex is almost fully in place. Let's check the jet streams. So this trough should have already been over here. We go back to the video a couple days ago. This trough should already be up against the coast, but it's not. All the bunker fuel operations are right here. See if I can move that forward a little bit. So they basically took the trough right out of there. I do want to check the temperatures up here. Rapid heating event still. Let's go ahead and go down. So really the only really super cold air is over here in Greenland. Minus 32.5. Ship tracks are in the high pressure. See, we have high pressure all over the United States right now, so this should be a chemtrail free zone, but it's not. There should be no chemtrails out here. So you look at that, only a few pockets of moisture. You can see they're steering the atmospheric river up into BC. And here is our atmospheric river. The dry air is like the orange. Yeah, so I'm really trying to figure out, you know, what are these, the bunker fuel ships, are they affecting help affect the jet stream. What are they doing out here? Or is it just to spark the fires? Got our typhoon that shouldn't be there. Okay, so the heat anomaly has pulled down to where the bunker fuel ships are. Let's go back a day. Look at that. There. Alright, so the heat anomaly was right below the Aleutian Island chains. The ship tracks started their bunker fuel operation a couple days ago. We go forward a day, and it's right down where the bunker fuel ships are. Let's go up a day, and that only gives us to today. So it looks like they're pulling the heat down, the heat anomaly. What about the surface, sea surface temperatures? Still got, you know, the good warm patch out here. Actually cooler and cooler pretty much everywhere north of the equator, at least here around the United States and South America. So this is the sea air quality, the CO2 flux density. Pretty crazy that, you know, we have this right here at the equator, but then up here in the Bering Strait. Pretty wild. One thing I want to check before we go here. So I want to check the poles. Okay, so we're looking up here at the North Pole. This is the only decent satellite footage I can find of the poles. I'm not seeing any kind of plasma at all, any kind of plasma burst. Let's check out the northern or the southern hemisphere where the rapid heating event is going on. Well, they got the time step at every 306 minutes. Let's just go like every 102 minutes. Up, there's some plasma lightning underneath Australia. Look at that. We put it on every 51 minutes. See, now we're starting to find it. We have beams of plasma all over the place. This is plasma right here. So the heating event that's going on down here is being induced by plasma waves. Look at that. The plasma grid of the sky. That's what that is. Just caught the grid in act. Look at that. They're shredding the ionosphere. Ooh, we got something that flew through there. It's underneath the clouds. Whatever that is under the clouds. Interesting. So we need to keep our eyes over here around Australia and watch that weather. See, I mean, look at these pillars of plasma. If that's not a weapon, what is? I mean, look at that. They're actually going two different directions. And the only other thing, not the lightning out here, but the Maybe this could be an artifact from the solar stuff. I don't know. I've never seen it before, so we'll just have to see how this happens, what happens here over the next couple of days. I'm not on the right day here. So we'll see what develops and see if it gets pulled up here into Australia. Funny thing is, it's right where the microwave clouds are that they're calling the gravity waves. Exact same. If you took this and drew a straight line down, that's right where that plasma is. Exactly. Alright guys, we're going to leave it right here. I want to thank everybody that out there that helps us and all that stuff. Long day at work tomorrow. So anyway guys, I'm going to jump off here. Much love. Thanks for sharing this stuff out and all that jazz. Anyway, no fear. We'll keep on fighting this stuff. And we're going to have to rise soon. Anyway, we're going to play a song called Rise. I'll jump over on D Live for a second. Then I'll jump back in here. Share this stuff out, man. We just showed you all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Crank it up. If I get it to work.